Today's sponsor of the Vision Quest podcast is 920 Hat Company. Leather patch hats are in, and 920 Hat Company is here to hook you up with your very own custom hat. All patches are lasered on top-grade genuine leather and on popular brand hats like Richardson and FlexFit. Whether you're looking to show off your business or want a one-of-a-kind hat for yourself, 920 Hat Company can do it all. All the hats are handcrafted right in the Fox Valley, but worn across America. With over 500 hats in stock, they guarantee fast turnaround times. Honestly, Liam, looking at these hats, solid, right?
Yeah, they're pretty. I like them.
I like that patch itself.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, one-of-a-kind stuff. I know his name's Trevor. He does great work. He's actually gotten I think we got a knit hat coming.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we got that coming. So we're really excited to have these guys on board as a sponsor. So get down to check them out on Facebook. I believe they're on Instagram. Check them out, man. They got the best hats, I think, in the Fox Valley, if not in the state.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So get down to 920 Hat Company on social media and check them out. Boom. We're live. Ready to roll. So, okay. Obviously, I had some you guys could hear like in that reel that I did is the construction's a little heavy in my house right now. I have such a mess down here. I have dogs down. We live in the basement right now. So my studio is now our house.
Yeah.
It's kind of where we're living. But I want to announce we are happy and excited to have on the show the Trinity Award winner, one of them, Lyric Hetzer. I appreciate you joining us. I understand you are a busy girl, so I appreciate it.
I'm so happy to be on here.
It's cool. So I think it's important to note that you aren't just an average wrestler. I mean, you put some work in. Your mom's. It's like me driving your kid all across the country, making sure they're getting the best competition. Right? You got your good. You got good teammates. You got good partners. You got good coaches. And you're showing it. You're killing it, man. I mean, how's it feeling so far? How are you feeling about the season?
I feel great. I love folk style, but I'm starting to like freestyle more with the big throws and with your teams all surrounding the mats. It's so fun. I love freestyle now. I just love it.
Did you start out in folk style or did you start in freestyle?
I started off in folk style, and I think that's why I still like it, because I didn't really do big throws. I would just do like blast doubles and all that.
Yeah.
Like I was that type of kid. And then my coach was like, hey, we're going in the freestyle season. Let's start doing guts. And I'm just like, okay.
Okay.
And I got in the hand of it, and I was pretty good at it.
Okay. So well, before we start getting into the story, do you feel like that once you got into freestyle, it was a little easier then? It was a easier technique and easier type of style for you?
I felt like it was like really hard because I would used to go to my back so much, like I would roll. Like I was just a funky wrestler. And so I would wrestle differently, like in freestyle. Like I would like be like, I can't do this move or I'm gonna go to my back. And so I started getting the hand of it and I'm like, oh, I'll just wrestle folk style. Just don't go like any Granbys or any of that to my back.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I started getting the hand of it, and so I got into the style back in wrestling folk style, just in freestyle.
Okay. So let's go back to the beginning. We talked a little bit beforehand. You said you started around, what was that, 6 years old, six and a half, somewhere around there? Was that your first sport?
I did gymnastics and cheer before that.
Okay. I heard something about the cheer thing, but I didn't know about the gymnastics. Hand in hand, great combination to go with wrestling. Did you like gymnastics? Was it something that you currently still do?
I loved gymnastics. I didn't like cheer, on the other hand. I did not like it. That's why I got into wrestling. But gymnastics, I just loved like flipping. And I think that helped me a lot in wrestling because of the stretching and being flexible. So when I get in predicaments where I'm like put on my back, you can just bridge out easily without it being like painful or like being hard to do.
Okay. So when you first got going, you said you started in folk style. Were you predominantly wrestling? Because now you're young, so girls wrestling has been around. But in the area you were in, did you have to start wrestling with boys first, or were you able to practice with girls right away?
I practiced with girls right away. I lived in Harrison, so it was like a big top like girls wrestling.
Okay.
There wasn't like so many boys, but there was. So
yeah,
I was able to train with, her name's Chloe Derwester, and like
we know Chloe. Yeah.
And I'm so grateful that I got to train with her. She definitely built up who I am now, how strong I am, and my technique. So I'm really glad to be training with her.
So I just read and heard something. I think David Taylor said something about it as far as the partners. It seems like a lot of you young, it's not just kids in general right now, because the sport is growing so much and the level of partners that you wind up getting. It seems like that when you guys are able to get your hands on really good partners, like you're killing it. You know what I'm saying? So you learned a lot from some really good teachers. So when you started learning, did you kind of find yourself, maybe, obviously everybody struggles a little bit, but did you ever want to quit when you first started because it felt like it was too hard? You're wrestling really good people.
I've never like felt that. I was just like on it. Like I
Solid as a rock.
My first tournament I got third, and I wrestled some really good girls that tournament. But it was like right when I got in the practice room, like I knew what to do. Like I blast double these people so far across the room, and I just wanted to stay in the sport. Obviously, the cutting weight I do not like. I don't think any wrestler likes cutting weight.
No, they don't. No,
I don't like it. But
so did you start when you were young? Were you kind of cutting weight a little bit when you were young for certain tournaments? Not all the time.
Not really. It wouldn't be many. Like at that time, it would feel like so much, but it was like a pound or less.
Oh yeah, for
like,
sure. You just had to not eat the gummy worms that day.
Yeah. It would feel like so much weight cutting, but it wouldn't be that much.
I remember with Liam when we first, it was the same thing. It was like 2 pounds or something like that, but it was as simple as just not drinking milk that day or for a couple of days, just little things, and maybe having some carrots instead of having cookies, kind of thing. So it's pretty common. And when you remember starting wrestling, were you in competitions right away? Did you practice a lot first?
It was, I think the day after practicing, I went to a competition. It was like straight after. I was just like, oh, I should do it. And so I just went to Athena Nationals.
Yeah.
I got third. I had competition. They were good.
Woo. You did well third. That's not bad.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I was so happy. But I think I got pinned in my finals.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's fine. So that's cool. You seem like not a lot. I mean, obviously, I'm sure when something goes wrong or something bothers you, but it seems like you're able to roll with the punches. So, I mean, it sounds like you have a pretty good support system because a lot of that comes with that. You know what I'm saying? So when a loss comes along, what types, do you have the parents that you're doing the hour-long car ride of, why did you do that? Blah, 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 blah. It doesn't sound like you had that at all.
It did, like, if I don't put in the effort, they're like, why didn't you put in that? But Correct. They never get mad if I lose, if I put the effort in. Like, I lost at the USA Pan Am trials this week, and my mom was like, you put in the effort, you put in the work.
Yes.
And so I'm gonna like focus on beating those people that I lose to. Like, I'll train, find them, scout them out at tournaments. I'm like focused on beating them, training, watching their matches, all that.
Well done. And that's the same thing we do. It's not because plus sometimes you kids are getting to a point where a lot of us parents, it's kind of beyond us where we expect you to kind of know that stuff and the technique that you're getting from your coaches. So it's really good to have that attitude of just at least as long as you're putting 110% effort in, that's all I care about too.
Yeah.
That's it. Because there's so much stress otherwise on top of that, right? I mean, especially with you young guys, it's in girls, it's just one of those things where you don't want to put that much pressure on. So I kind of had a feeling that's how mom was with it. Cause that's why I wanted to kind of drive into that.
Yeah. It's just like another match. It's not like the end of the world. Like, you won't grow up when you're like 35 and think about it. It's another match.
Losing sleep and start drinking because of it. Right. Let's not do that. Yeah. So when you started your first competition, you went in that tournament, you took third. Were you, because I mean, you're getting your first wins, you're getting your first competition in. Did you kind of you're like, I want more, I want to do more? Were you hungry for more competition and wanted to like dive into it even more?
Yeah, I was so hungry. I ended up wrestling the 3 people I lost to, or the 2 people. I was like scouting them out for so long. Like, the first place girl, I trained like for like 3 years to beat that girl, and I ended up beating her. I was so happy. Like, after that match, I like raised both hands. I ran up to my mom, and I was like so happy that I beat that girl.
Yeah. But you put the work in.
Yeah, I put the work in to beat her. And That's awesome. Second place, she's really good too. But I ended up beating that girl.
What's one of the first matches that sticks out in your mind the most? Like one of the first ones. Which one do you remember the most?
For girls?
Yeah. Yep.
I would say I wrestled this girl, and I got like cradled, and I got put on the internet like everywhere in my back. Ooh. It's like it's so bad. I see it like now. Like 2 weeks ago, I was like at the hotel looking myself up, and it was just a video right there of me like getting pinned with the cradle, and I was just like, no, and they wouldn't take it down or any of it. I remember I texted, like, I put a note, reported it. I'm like, take this down. I was like, this is me. Take it out.
Get it down. Get out of here.
I really wanted it to get off.
That is awesome. You reached out to them to tell them to take the video down.
I didn't want it. I was so embarrassed for losing that.
But did you get that match back? Did you get her back?
Yeah.
And you beat her?
I tech fought her.
Nice. That's even better. That's even better. You dominated. That's even better. That's cool. So now you said that for girls, is there one that you remember the most wrestling against the boys?
Probably, yeah. It was Supreme Killer Duels against, his name was Carter Smith. And that just stuck out to me because I was like so young. And like before that match, I was like so nervous. Like I didn't even know who the guy was until my mom looked him up on Track Wrestling. He was like a 5-star. And I'm like, who is this kid? Like, I've never heard of him. And he looked really good. And I ended up beating him, I think 7-4 or 8-4. And I was like so happy. And then I ended up like losing to my wrestling partner the next match. I got tech fault. I was just like, no. And my mom was like, what just happened? You just like beat like a top kid and then you lose your partner. She was just like, what happened?
What's the farthest you've traveled for a tournament?
I would say Washington, just then. I wanted to go to, I don't know what the name of the tournament, but it was out of the country just like a couple weeks ago.
Pan Am's.
Huh?
Pan Am?
No, it was, I don't know, it's some country, and like
Yeah.
it's girls and boys, and they go there.
Okay.
I don't know the country, but I really want to go next year.
Did it Estonia?
Yes, Estonia.
Oh, so okay. Liam just got back from there. Liam was there. He was at the Tallinn Open.
I really want to go. I heard it's like a really fun tournament. Like everything is new.
Yep.
It's not like the US. I really want to go there.
And this year they did, as far as I remember, it was the first year that they did an event before the freestyle and Greco started. They did a dual event. I believe Wyoming Seminary was there for that. And their girls team competed against their girls team. And I think there's a boys team as well that it was a freestyle duel. But it's great. Liam loves every year that he goes there. So they wind up doing a camp. The only downfall about the camp is that there used to be a guy that ran it that was kind of really into the actual technique of the camp. Yeah. Now it's kind of like you're just wrestling live the whole time, which is okay because you're getting some, foreign people you get to wrestle against and stuff like that, just without having to worry about the competition part. So get over there. I'll text mom. I'll be like, get her to the Tallinn Open because it's worth it for sure.
I definitely need to go.
If you can, if I can suggest, I'm sure you have people out by you, but I would suggest contacting Maja Casey from Victory School of Wrestling here in Wisconsin because he takes a group over there every year. And his is extra, especially nice because the group that they go with, they get to stay at certain kids' houses. Then you get to go to school sometimes with certain kids. You get to experience that whole thing. So I'll get your mom in touch with Maja. That'll be a good one for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So let's get back on track here. So you started out at about 6. You told us about some memorable matches. Let's talk about what your goals were when you first started wrestling and you kind of got into it. You're starting to really love it. What were some of the goals that you were looking to accomplish? I'm going to try and pull up some comments here too. Oh, you got Ariana. Ariana says, hi, Lyric.
My goals, definitely my first goal, I really wanted to go to the Olympics in 2028. That was like my first goal. I was just like, I want to go to Los Angeles and win it. And so I think that got like the drive. I'm like, wait, hold up. You're not just going to like easily get the ride to go to Los Angeles. Like you need to train for it. And like, I'm going step by step. Like I'm going to try to go to Fargo next year and then go to Super 32 this year, go to Pan Am's, then make it up till 2028 to go to the Olympics.
Nice. Well, that's cool. You mentioned Super 32. We'll be able to see you down there this year because we go every year for Liam, especially. We've been going since his 6th grade year. It's a great tournament. You're going to have a blast out there.
I wrestled boys a couple of years ago, and I was doing good. I think I won my first, 2 or 3 matches, and then I lost. And I was like, no. And so I tried going back, and I won, 1 or 2, and then I lost again. And I was just like, I was so upset because, I would see, other girls, go in the Super 32, and they were, doing good. And I'm just like, all right. And we haven't been back since. I remember on my way to weigh-ins, our flight got canceled, and we were 5-6 hours away, and my mom booked a car and drove 100 miles per hour down the highway, and because we would have been late by 25 minutes. And
really?
They're like, Shook, you got to be on time. And so my mom was zooming, and I'm like, I'm gonna just go to sleep because I didn't want to deal with any drama. So I went to sleep. I ended up waking up 5 minutes before weigh-ins, and I rushed in there.
They run a tight ship there. That's for sure. That tournament definitely runs a tight ship. So glad you made it. That's awesome. That's quite the story. I mean, I can't remember the last time we went to a tournament where we had to do it because I drive everywhere. I hate relying on planes, man. We're taking a plane to Vegas for US Open, but I hate relying on airplanes and stuff. So I always love driving everywhere. So
yeah, we drive the day before just in case our flight gets canceled or anything.
It's a good idea.
Scary.
It's a good idea. So with the competitions that you've been in, what do you think was the toughest one that you've been in so far?
Boys or girls or both?
Both.
Ooh, I would probably say Super 32 for boys, but for girls, I would say just Pan Am's. They had I've never been in a bracket that stacked in so long. I've never. But I mostly go to boys tournaments. I'm starting to not wrestle too many boys. I'm trying to wrestle mostly girls, but I have another year to wrestle still boys. So I get to high school. So I'm trying to wrestle as many girls. So when I wrestle the boys, I go in the girls and like I wrestle the same because like I used to wrestle like differently. Like when I go to girls, I'd wrestle less pressure. Sure. And then the boys, I would have so much pressure against them. So I'm trying to get like the confidence of like having them the same so I can wrestle the girls the same as I do in the boys.
Just a good balance. A good balance of wrestling. Okay. I just had a question in my head I was going to ask you. I can't remember. It'll come back to me. But when you go to competitions, and we talked a little bit about cutting, and obviously it's not like you're cutting major weight, but when you go to competitions, what do you find? What's your favorite meal? Like, what do you like to get like after weigh-ins? Where do you guys go?
So most of the time I get a steak so I can like feel. But most of the time I will not eat clean, but I have to eat clean. Like I used to like I'd go to Outback and I'd get like a root beer float straight off the bat, and I'd get like 7 of them. I get so many, and then the next day I'd like be so slow. And so
oh my God, Lyric.
I could, and so for Pan Ams, like I had like a bagel and liquid IV after, so I wasn't like crazy.
Right, yeah. It was at least somewhat healthy. Root beer floats, Lyric. Are you kidding me? 7 of them?
Last week, I went to Viper Pit, and I was eating like crazy. And I had 2 Celsius before I went to bed, and I didn't sleep at all.
Yeah.
I had at least 10 minutes of sleep that night, and I woke up, and I don't even know how I wrestled good. Like, I was like fueled. I was like, let's go. And then at the end of the night, like I passed out on my way back. I was so tired.
I'm surprised you didn't crash midday. That's crazy. It's root beer floats, Celsius. You guys are young. I mean, you guys can burn off a lot of different calories in different ways. So, I mean, it's just funny to hear that because you're talking to all these high level athletes like, oh, I'm going to make sure I'm watching my proteins and watching my carbs. And here's Lyric over here having 7 root beer floats just before she goes into a tournament. It's like, holy cow, man.
They were good. They were good.
I guess they were good. You had 7 of them.
I enjoyed them so much. I'd be like, bring more.
Let's tie that into the stuff that your mom would give for like when you guys got a win in a duel. What was she giving out?
Gummy worms.
And then you wound up robbing the gummy worm bag, you said, right?
Yeah. It wasn't just me. My friend Rain, she also took them.
Oh, you're throwing Rain under the bus. Oh.
We both grabbed them. We like snuck behind the bleachers and we started eating them like crazy. And then they ended up finding out. We were just like, no. But they were really good. I enjoyed those gummy worms.
So what were some of the big, and these don't even have to be wrestling moments. So what were some of the big moments that you've had in just like in around wrestling or whatever, like meeting someone or, you know, being able to watch someone wrestle? What were some of the more like memorable, just kind of just being around wrestling moments that you've had?
When my mom, she used to like talk about Bo Bassett like all the time. And so when we were at Super 32, I remember he was wrestling on the big stage with Anthony Knox. And I was just like, I don't know who this guy is. And she was like, you'll love him. He's really good. And so I ended up watching him and he ended up like losing. But then like
we were there that year too.
He like finished. And I'm just like, he was good. And so like he's like pacing, he's like jogging around the mat in the back. And I'm just like, I'm gonna go get a photo. And my mom's like, no, he just got done. And so I walked back there and I'm like, hey, can I get a photo? And he was like, oh, sure. I got a photo and I was just like so embarrassed. I was like, because he was like, he looked upset about losing. And so he was like, jogging around the mat for like, I think endurance and all that. Yeah. And I just like went up there and I was just like, I got like 5 more photos with him.
That was a pretty hyped up match. There's a lot of hype, I think, between Flo and then the tournament and then other people, and that happens a lot with him. And that Anthony Knox match, we were there that year too, and that was a crazy match. I think there was one Liam and I'll flip, especially at those finals tournament or final matches, and a lot of times we'll both try to pick the same guy that we know is going to win, right? This kind of thing. Yeah, right. I think I wound up picking. I had to pick Anthony that day because Liam picked Bo, and I was like, all right. And I kind of got lucky on the draw, and Anthony Knox won it. So it was kind of fun. That's a cool moment. You got to meet someone.
I had no idea
to your age.
Who them were either. I was just like, who are they?
Yeah. Well, you're what? So that was like wasn't that 3 or 4 years ago? That was about 4 years.
Yeah, that was pretty long ago.
Yeah, you're like 10 years old around that time. So that's a pretty cool moment, And I think those tournaments and being able to, shine yourself, especially when you're trying to put in that competition against boys, it's pretty big deal. So that's fun. So when you go to tournaments, what is your pre-match workout or pre-match like ritual? What do you do?
So most of the time I grab like someone I know, or like if I don't have them, because I want them to know like my drill. So I mostly grab like the same partner when I see them. Like if we go to the same tournament, if it's freestyle or folk style, we do like shots to double. Like we do neutral, then we do top moves, and bottom moves. Then we go live for like 10, 15 minutes so we can get that. And it mostly gets me ready. I stretch before that. I'm not really big on running. Like I do not like running, but I know I should before a match. I just never do it. Like
you and so many wrestlers, man.
I hate running. I don't know what it is, but I just don't like it. Like I jump rope, but no.
It's a good replacement. It's not bad. Get your heart rate going,
I heard it's better, but I don't know because jogging, you're pumping your arms, but you're doing that with jump rope.
Yeah, with jump roping. That's right. Yeah. So it sounds like it's pretty regimented. Like you've been doing that for a while. Is that something that your mom helped you set up that kind of ritual for warming up for matches?
It was just kind of out of pocket. Like I've just been doing it for so long. I was just like, hey, let's do this. And so my mom, she's like, go live before wrestling. That's like the main thing, because if I just go out there drilling, I'm going to wrestle like I'm drilling and not going like live competing. Makes sense. She always tells me get a live go before you wrestle, like no matter what.
For sure. That makes sense. Totally makes sense. And, and as you grow up, you may find your own type of, kind of as you get older, whatever, you might find your own type of workout and things like that. Like Liam, I used to have him doing certain things. And then as he kind of grew into his own wrestler, he started to kind of find his own workout or ritual, and he wears certain things and he won't wear certain things and listens to certain music, things. Are you a pacer? Are you a pacer just before the match?
Yeah, I put on my headphones.
Nice.
I lost like my beats like 4 times. Like I had to get 4 new pairs because I just keep losing them at tournaments. And so I'm determined not to lose this one because they're pink and I really like those pink ones. And
4 pairs of beats, man. I probably would have bought you like the gas station earbuds after that. I'll be honest with you. That's crazy. 4 pairs. I gotta text your mom here, man. We gotta slow her down and buying all these beats for you. That's crazy. Holy cow. So what's some of your favorite music to listen to before a match?
I have a mix. In my opinion, I just don't like Eminem. I know a lot of people do. I'm no hate on Eminem, but I mostly listen to Drake or Kanye, like any of those to warm up.
Are you tired of the Lose Yourself song at every tournament from Eminem?
Yes, I do not like that song. It's like that main song. Because like on my way when I was younger, on my way to the tournament, he would just play Eminem blasting in the car. And I was just like, no more Eminem. Stop. No more.
Liam won't listen. Every time they turn it on, he'll go get something to put over his ears.
Yeah, I just don't want to listen to that song. That's exactly what I do in the car. I'm just like, no.
Black it out. That's awesome. Do you have a favorite pair? What are your favorite pair of shoes? Like what are you rocking most of the time? See that slang I use? What are you rocking?
Mostly I don't know what they're called. I call them Jesus sandals. Birkenstocks. Yeah, those ones.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I got these here.
Those are similar.
These are pretty sweet.
I love Nike. Nike's like my favorite thing ever.
I'm an Adidas guy. I'm really partial because a lot of these college teams use Nike for everything. It's like, I don't know if I want to wear Nike. It's not like the swoosh. I want the 3 stripes on there. I don't
like Under Armour.
I'm not an Under Armour guy either. I'll be honest with you.
I don't like the symbol.
No.
The symbol is so weird. I don't even get it.
Yeah, it's like 2 U's and whatever. It doesn't mean anything to me either. It's kind of crazy. It's more baseball. They should stay in baseball.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just stay in baseball. Right. So what do you recently came back from some tournaments. What is the next tournament you're looking forward to?
The next tournament I'm going to is Ultimate Club Duels.
Oh,
or okay. 5. Or it's NHSCA duels, Virginia. Okay. Those are the 2 I'm going to so far that we know of.
Okay. I know they just had the high school ones that was out in Virginia Beach, and you're going to go to the middle school ones. That's a good tournament. Liam's been to those a couple times, but I think if you were to go to a college, we kind of talked about it a little bit. If you were to go to a college, what's on top of your list right now?
Definitely Penn State.
Definitely Penn State. As soon as they work in that girls program, right?
Yeah, it's Penn State or Ohio and Iowa second.
Okay. In that order?
Yeah, then Lehigh.
Lehigh. Okay. So you like what you got going on the East Coast out there?
I like D1 colleges.
Okay. And they're great schools. Great schools. I mean, Kale, get on it, man. Like, what are you waiting for?
Exactly.
Let's get the girls program going.
They need to make one.
Chip, chop, chip. So that is what you're looking forward to for college. If you are to go to, so you're homeschooled, right? You're homeschooled right now? Okay. I'm not familiar with that. We've had some people around here that have done it. There aren't a ton of people over here that do it a lot. There are some people that will break off, and like some guys that go to Greco and they train Greco. That's all they do. Some of them drop out. They don't even go to high school anymore. They homeschool. So there's only a few people. What's that like as far as just being a kid? And obviously it sounds like you have friends, you have practice partners and people like that, but what's that like not going to school and walking through halls with the other people and stuff? How does that feel?
It feels like most of the time it's boring, but you have some stuff to do during the days, but you don't really get to see like friends and all that, but it's much easier. Like you get to practice like anytime. You get to be outside, like any of that you have at any time. And so that's like the main thing why I did it. So I can like, my coach would call me and be like, hey, do you want to have practice at like 12 o'clock? And I'll be like, oh, sure. I got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
That's
not knocking it. Definitely not knocking it. I mean, it works for some people, and definitely you have I think there's a motive behind what you guys are trying to accomplish. So it's definitely for a reason. And I applaud that. When you guys go to tournaments, are there certain things that your parents do when you go to a tournament? Do they have rituals?
There is a coach. His name's Coach Noble. Well,
okay. Yeah. From Toss 'em Up.
Yes. And he tells me, he's like, you have 30 seconds to pin this girl or score 5 points. And so I think that helps me like a lot in the match. So I don't focus. Like, I'm not nervous about the match. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to try to get this. And so I don't focus on I don't focus on the winning, and I just go straight, and then I end up winning and having the fun. But my mom, she mostly just go out there and just have fun with the matches, and then the wins will come. And so that's what I just do.
So you're goal driven. You like the not just the winning portion, but you like Coach Noble gives you a goal to accomplish within a certain amount of time. And that's awesome. I think that's a great way to do that. I think he's a pretty smart guy. We've run around and been around with Coach Noble for a little bit. Liam never really got to train with him, but we've seen him at tournaments, talked to him. Really great guy. Love talking to him. We are going to be going to the US Open this next weekend. When you compete, do you compete in older age groups?
Yes, and weights. Most of the time I go up in weights. For girls, I always bump up that weight. Boys, I sometimes do that just so I can get the experience, because those people are cutting down to that weight anyways.
Yeah.
So when I bump up the weight, because I'm still growing, I will get to, I already know, what those people do. Yeah. And, the weight. So, I don't know. It's just, something that I always do, so I don't cut so much. And then when I gain the weight and I go out to wrestle, it's not like, oh my gosh, this girl is way too heavy for me.
And that's that kind of why I asked that, because Liam is going to be going out and he's going to wrestle 80 kilograms. It's 176 pounds. Right now he's about maybe 170 pounds heaviest. right? And when you get into these tournaments, we're talking about like Super 32 is the same thing. It's like professional weight cutting.
Yeah, they're cutting a lot.
It's insane, right? It's crazy. And we've always done things like you guys. Liam's always wrestled up in weight class. He'll wrestle up in an age group too once in a while. But it's always been wrestling up. Have you ever found yourself like going up against someone you're like, holy cow, they're huge. They must have cut so much weight for this. And you were just wrestling up. Did you ever have an opponent like that?
Yeah, all the time. I always get this. Like, I'd go to these duels and I'd wrestle these boys or girls, and they would be like so heavy. And like, I'd be on bottom struggling. I'd look up and I'm like, this guy's heavy. Like, they'd be like, they feel like 140, but they're actually like 112. Like, they're not heavy.
Yeah, right. You're right. Yeah, because again, I think a lot of times, and I think your mom does a pretty good job with it, just kind of does the same thing that we do, is letting you guys grow and letting you guys get stronger naturally instead of trying to cut so much and then you feel the weight of someone super heavy on you. It's not fun. Have you ever told your mom, hey, I want to cut for this one. I want to cut for this one. And she's like, absolutely not.
That's what we did for Tulsa. For Tulsa, I was sitting around 114. I was heavy. And I'm just like, I'm not wrestling like good. And so I was just like, I'm going to get down to 100 so I can feel good. And so the first like couple pounds, they weren't hard because I just got back from Disney. So
Disney duels?
Yeah. No, just Disney.
Disney World, like actually visiting Disney. Okay, gotcha.
And so the first like 6, 8 were easy. And then I started like getting down. The last 2 were like really hard. And I think that like showed something that I can't, like my weight range, like I can't go below 100 pounds, way too hard.
Right.
So like 102 is like my minimum. Like I can't go to below 102. So it's good to
know.
Yeah.
It's good to know that you have that. You have those limits. You kind of discovered what you can and can't take and can and can't handle. That's good. I think that's another reason why it's kind of like watching the matches that I saw you wrestle. Like it's fun watching you because it seems like you're a little more mature for your age when it comes to the practicing and that you've done and watching you compete and seeing how you compete. It's just a little bit of a, like a level up from all the other, especially guys that you're wrestling. I mean, I watched a couple of matches where you just waxed them like it was nothing, and I was like, whoa, okay, she's the real deal. Then I was like, then watching you wrestle, I watch your girls. Yeah, there's some tough ones, but like then you made them look even like they're standing still, So I was like, holy cow, this is good. So you're pretty intelligent. It seems like you got a good head on your shoulders when it comes to wrestling and kind of taking care of yourself, except for the 7 root beer floats and all that other stuff, which you're a kid, right? And like I said, you guys burn that off way differently than big kids do, and the big guys do. So what are some of your goals? Everybody wants to win the Olympics, but what's a reachable goal that you have right now that you want to accomplish? What's the next goal that you're trying to reach?
Definitely winning world team next year for 17U because I'm eligible next year. I can wrestle 15U and 17U. Whoa. So I'm going to do back-to-back. But if I win the 17U, I'll probably not end up doing the 15U because it's like way too expensive. Yeah. But if I win the 15U, don't do 17U. It's like back and forth. So I'm really wanting to win 17U because it's like a big step for me. Like after I win that, my name will be out there and all that.
You're giving yourself the best opportunity to see if you can, it's a great experience. I mean, to be able to travel to wherever it is. I didn't even look where those next competitions would be for those age groups, but wherever it is, even Estonia, it's a great experience for you guys to be able to get that travel in. And it just makes you even more marketable when it comes to going to college and being recruited by college teams, because now you have all that under your belt, but you're doing just fine without even going overseas. So you keep up the good work. Hey, we've been talking to you for about 40 minutes here. We're gonna cut it off. It's late by you. It's 8:30.
It's really
got a little. Yeah, I know. I was gonna say it's starting to kind of fade on you. So what we'll do is we'll cut you loose, but we're gonna talk to you for just a second once we're done here. But I'm gonna roll some music so that way people can know that we're done. But again, everybody, this has been Lyric Hetzer. She is the most recent Trinity Award recipient. She's killing it. If you haven't seen her, check her out on Instagram. You got any shout outs? You got some shout outs you want to do, don't you?
Yeah. Definitely a big shout out. His name's Connor Maddox. I told him I would shout him out, but he definitely had a big jump for me in wrestling. Like, I don't think I would be at the step I was if I wasn't practicing with him. Me and his coach is Aaron Cashman. He went to Iowa. He's super good.
Yeah.
He's like one of my favorites. Then Jermaine Lindsay.
Okay.
He's also my coach. And Nick Spatola and my mom. Definitely a big shout out to my mom. She takes me everywhere. She pays for everything. Yeah. And that's just, I love my mom. She's the main thing for me.
Yep. Heads out to Toss them up and Coach Noble and those guys too.
Oh, yeah. Coach Noble, big shout out. I love him.
Hopefully they're killing it. They'll always be killing it. But all right, we're going to end this here, but stick around because we'll talk to you once we hang all this up. But everybody, it's been Lyric Hetzer. This has been another version of the Vision Quest podcast. Hopefully you guys join us soon again. We'll see you later. All of our episodes are brought to you by Appleton Tattoo, located at 117 South Appleton Street in Appleton, Wisconsin, right off the main drag on College Avenue. You can't miss them. I've had some work done. I have a Celtic cross that covers my back that was done by Jason. We're not done yet. Jason Winans and crew, the artists that he have there, those guys are the best in the Fox Valley. They are definitely one to go to if it's something that you've just been kind of throwing around. They'll make you feel comfortable. It's a very clean environment. Very nice crew, and very willing to get done whatever you need done when you need it done. You can message them on Facebook. I know they're on Facebook. You can give them a call at 920-604-8289 and get in touch with Jason Winans and crew at Appleton Tattoo, located again in Appleton, Wisconsin at 117 South Appleton Street, right in Appleton. Very flexible hours, great crew, clean environment again. I would not send you anywhere else except for these guys. Appleton Tattoo.